Hello again, everyone. In this technical analysis of the stock market video, we're going to check in for a market update this weekend. And I call this family favorites because I want to talk about what I'm seeing with XLY, the Consumer Discretionary ETF, the star of the year. All right, let's start off here with the New York Composite Index. It was up slightly on Friday, just a little bit of a move. Up pretty decent for the week, but it looks potential little counter trend move in here. There's no reason for me to change my Elliott wave count. I've got this as a sideways, very complex WXY intermediate wave 2. So this is still a bearish count. We're still counting this as intermediate wave 2 and the potential start of intermediate wave 3 to the downside. Now, look how far this is down below that January high, okay? We're not even close to there. So it's going to be real interesting to see, watching to see, does this August 29th high hold, or does this come down and take out last week's low and break this trend line right here? Okay, the next one we'll look at real quick is SPX, the S&P 500. This is the most bullish count I've got, which means that it's an intermediate or a ending diagonal pattern. This would imply that we've got one more move, we've got another move to the downside here before another move higher. And so I would be looking for a three-wave move. It looks like we may have 1, 2, expecting the next one down. I will be looking for this to come down and overlap wave 1 in an ending diagonal. The more bearish count is that, just like on the New York Composite, this August 29th high is it. That's the high of the fifth wave structure, and looking for this to hold. Now, we're pretty close, but we'll see. Just a little doji candle on Friday. Didn't do much. It was up less than a point, and it was up 33 points for the week, but we'll see whether this holds, whether the high holds or whether this trend line holds. All right, that's the S&P. Now, I know I talked about the VIX, and really it was at the potential, had a threshold last week where, we were doing this pattern just like here. We had this rising trend line. I actually deleted it because it really is not in play anymore. But this is what I had. I had this trend line in here, and on Wednesday it started to break down, just a small penetration, and we continued to get it to the downside. And this software is doing, the database is doing this again on a Saturday where I'm getting duplicate bars in here for Friday. So sorry about that. But what I'm watching is we're back down to the lows of of August on the VIX at 1207. But this trend line, still a pretty strong trend line to the downside. If we turn and push up through this, it'll be an explosion. The real question is how strong and, does that carry us in terms of the VIX, and what does that mean for the selling to kick in? I want to take a look at gold this weekend. Gold has really been trying to get a bid under it, and it has been struggling to do that. Friday, I was looking for it to actually break this high, this two-day high, Wednesday, Thursday. Got 2 consecutive closes above the 10-day moving average, but Friday it came back down, didn't make a run, and closed back below the 10-day moving average. So now, once again, gold is struggling to get the buyers to come in here and push this higher. So, that's what I'm looking for. But if this wave count if this low here on August 15th doesn't hold, then we may have a lot more to go to the downside. I'm going to see if I can get my wave count up here. Let me go back rather than take you through everything. Let me see if I can, here we go. That's what I'm looking for. Let's go to the Elliott wave and let me zoom back out. So here's the bigger picture. Okay, so I think what we're doing is a larger triangle in here, but if this wave doesn't hold, if this low doesn't hold down here, okay, then this is going to be morphing into something else. And what I think it's doing is it'll be morphing into, this is a weekly, it's morphing into a flat pattern, this A, B, C, which would mean, so if this doesn't hold right here, then I think we got further to come down on GLD, and be watching to see, this is where C would equal A on a flat. But then that would also imply that we will then push much higher above A. So it's kind of like, you know, if we get short-term pain, more short-term pain on GLD, I think what it implies is a stronger move to the upside than what I'm currently anticipating, okay? So that's the picture, because if this holds right here, I'm thinking we're just going to get a move right up to this wave E, which will not take us all the way up here, and then that's going to be it for the triangle. All right, so that's the pattern on gold that I've got. The last thing I want to talk about, and why I called this family favorites, is because I'm looking at XLY, okay, Consumer Discretionary. And when I look at this, this sure looks to me like we've got a 5-wave move complete in here, okay? So here's the intermediate waves that we've been working within the primary, the 5th primary wave. And now this last intermediate wave, let me kind of zoom in structure. So here's the low that I've got here at the end of at April 2nd, and that we launched into this 5-wave sequence, and that these 5 minor waves have completed a nice impulsive wave move to the upside. And when I start looking at some of the moving averages and the RSI, we're getting a little bit of divergence showing up in here. So watching this pretty close, given the 5-wave structure, it's either has completed 5 waves or it is very close to completing 5 waves. Watching to see if this starts to break down. So what does this mean for family favorites? So if you take a look over here and looked at the sectors and look at consumer discretionary, here's what we're talking about. Here's the top 15 holdings in the consumer discretionary. Amazon, Charter Communications, gosh, I'm drawing a blank on that one, which is Comcast, Disney, Fox, General Motors, Home Depot, Lowe's, McDonald's, Netflix, Nike, Starbucks, Target, and TJ Maxx. So a lot of family faves in here. If this thing starts to turn down, we'll be watching these to see, these are going to start to break at the same time, okay? Because these are going to be what causes this to break down, okay? So it's not like this causes these cause this to break down. So this is what we'll be on the alert for, and we'll see what happens here over the next couple of weeks. All right, that's it for this weekend. If you felt like the video was helpful, remember to hit the like button, and if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to this channel. And if you can think of one person who would benefit from watching the video, share the video with them. If you'd like to get more insight, education, and trade ideas, become an insider member. And I do have a new post that I just put out over on the website, so you might want to check that out. All right, that's it for this weekend. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you on the next video.